All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good Thursday. I didn't say Tuesday before, did I? I've been mixing up my days all week. Were you paying attention, Lily?
I was not.
I don't think I said Tuesday. I kind of feel like I said Tuesday last time. It is Thursday. You're almost to the weekend, and it is sunny out and not too cold, so not too bad on that front. As mentioned before the break, this is Afternoon Drive. My name is Drew Moholland. My guest today is Roesanne Robillard, who is she's our neighbor. We're in the same building. We're on the wing here of the Newburyport Senior Center, the community center, and I walk by every day. I kind of feel guilty that I don't stop in and say hello, Roseanne. So hello, good to have you on the show.
Hi, Drew. Thanks so much for inviting me over.
This is great. You guys have made the front page today for one of your numerous events. This is today's paper, right? Yeah.
Yep, today we were above the fold and in color on the front page.
Always exciting.
Yep, we had Brian Eaton from the Daily News come over on Tuesday, and he snapped a picture of our popular meditation program.
Isn't you have all sorts of stuff going on over there?
We do. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 for the whole community to use. Our programs are geared towards the interest of the senior citizens, the older adults in the community. And those programs are broken up into different topics like arts and crafts and hobbies, like social groups, fitness classes, games.
Did I hear you have a ping pong table up there?
We have 3 ping pong
tables. Rumor
tables.
has 3 ping pong tables.
Indeed. Olympic quality ping pong tables.
Oh, wow.
That are used every Tuesday and Friday from 1 to 4.
Okay.
And they are so serious about ping pong, they wear goggles.
Who is this they? Is this just a regular group that plays, or is this?
Yep, it's all drop-in. The people who play ping pong are baby boomers for the most part. They're younger elders, very, very friendly, very athletic, and they love ping pong.
I just read an article about baby boomers. They're getting a lot of heat lately for referring to everybody younger than them as millennials. Have you heard this little thing?
Yeah,
here?
it's true. It's true.
Apparently, I actually am a millennial, so it's I don't even know what that is. Do you know, Lily? What's the millennial age? It's like late 30s, up to late 30s.
I would say they're born from like 85 to 93.
85 to 93? No, it's going to be wider than that, right? I don't know. Well, I would fit into that category anyway. I'm definitely a millennial. But yes, apparently they've been taking a lot of heat for that.
Well, baby boomers are the ones that are using the Senior Community Center in Newburyport. But
they're playing
also,
ping pong.
The older elders are using it also. It's a place where older elders, those up to 95, we have a couple 95-year-olds in there today. They come in to socialize, to be with people.
It's great. What a great spot. I mean, it's not every community has that, really. I think people sometimes take that for granted, that Newburyport offers this.
I know. Newburyport's such a fabulous community, and it's even better now because we have this senior community center. It's makes it a healthier community.
Do you feel the love from all these people that come in and really make use of it and are there all the time?
Absolutely. People are blown away by what we've built here. I kind of pat myself on the back. I've been the director of the Council on Aging for 26 years.
Oh, wow.
And most of that time was spent in an office in the Salvation Army building downtown. And I spent a lot of time traveling to other communities to see what they did for their Council on Aging, what they used for a senior center. And I had the opportunity to kind of build a vision of what Newburyport might have someday. And I just had to wait for the time to be right, for the location to become apparent, for the community to rally around and make it happen. And we did. We're into our 5th year at the Senior Community Center now.
Wow, it's a great building. Did you feel the support right away, or has it really grown over the years?
Oh, it's great. You know, they say build it and they will come.
And they will come, yeah.
It is so true.
Yeah.
When we opened the doors, people came in and didn't really know what they were walking into. They kind of had preconceived notions of what a senior center was.
Yep.
And this is no stereotype. It's very, very attractive.
Yeah.
People come in and they feel like they're in a resort. It's very welcoming. The windows are big. There's light year-round. It's very welcoming.
It really is. When I walked in there, the first thing that jumped out to me is that, and maybe part of this is the stereotype of kind of a maybe people think immediately of a laid-back kind of place. I walked in there, and immediately this big lab jumps on me. There's a dog, a lot of energy in the place. You're all very excited about the work and everything. It seemed like a very kind of a happening place.
It definitely is. Generally, dogs are not welcome into the senior center.
That's not a usual thing.
It isn't, but we do have therapy dogs, and we have comfort animals. And before you came in today, we had a beautiful Great Dane in there, a working dog, but a gorgeous animal. So you never know what you're going to see when you come into those doors.
Absolutely. What's the what has been the most surprising thing for you as far as over the last few years as this place has grown? And is it that the numbers are growing? Is it that the different ideas that come into the place? What's the most biggest surprise for you?
Yeah, kind of all of the above. People have come in to participate in one particular program. For example, something we have starting up in February is our tax preparation program. We have a team from AARP who are trained and certified and tested and qualified to do federal tax preparation and state tax forms, and people sign up to come in and have their taxes done. So they might come into the building for that reason, but while they're in the building, they see someone sitting in the living room reading the daily news. Mike, I haven't seen you for 3 years. How are you? Where have you been? And so they're catching up with their old friends and their old neighbors, and so Mike invites him to have lunch with him there at the senior center, and then maybe they'll play ping pong, or maybe they'll go upstairs to the billiards room and play billiards together. It's been great seeing people reconnect after many years at their senior community center.
That's what it's all about, right? I mean, that's probably, when you're envisioning this, that's what you want. You want to bring people together, and that's kind of the whole point of it, right?
Yep, home away from home.
Home away from home. There you go. We've had a few different veterans on this show here, and I think it's a common, I don't know why exactly. I mean, I guess I could guess why, but it does seem to be a popular spot for veterans to give speeches, and veterans, and I know that's happened a little bit. Talk about the veterans that have come into your place and have made an impact on your...
Well, as you know, Kevin Hunt is the Veteran Service Officer in Newburyport, and his office is in the Senior Community Center right upstairs over my office. Veteran Services and Council on Aging are the only two departments located in the Senior Community Center. And Kevin, if you know him, you love him. He's a wonderful guy, and he does a great job and reaches out to veterans and encourages them and their loved ones. And so I know that he's planning an all-day program at the Senior Center a few months from now, where we're going to shut down the Council on Aging programs and just dedicate the day to veterans programs.
Just a random day.
Something to look forward to.
Oh, that is cool. It's a great spot for that. I know, there's a million other things you guys do too, but I always like hearing about the veteran stories for some reason. Also, when you talk about I know we had the mayor in here. She was talking about how expensive Newburyport is getting. I bet that's a big part of the chatter for people that are growing older in town going, this is not the Newburyport I bought into. Do you hear a lot of these conversations?
Of course I do. Of course I do. The residents of Newburyport made a financial commitment when they voted to build a senior community center. They voted to have their property taxes increased for a period of time so we could pay for this facility. We didn't get grants to do it like some communities do. And the mayor recognizes the fact that there's a financial burden on residents because of this building, and so she and the city council have made available a property tax work-off program.
Oh, nice.
So senior citizens who are financially eligible for the program can work for the city at the Senior Community Center or at City Hall or at one of the other city departments, even here, actually, at the Newburyport Hub. And by doing work for the community, they can earn a benefit applied towards their property tax bill.
Oh, which is very cool. And I mean, the cost of housing is going up throughout the country. I mean, look at Boston. I mean, I read an article almost every week about even people, kids getting out of college. The rent prices are high, and just it's very hard to live in these cities. And Newburyport's not Boston, but it's Boston suburb, and it's a prominent city, and I mean, just everything's going up, and it's interesting. I bet those are a lot of stories that you hear around the ping pong table about how did we save enough? Are we the retirement talks and all that? It must be a topic that I would think it's good to have that camaraderie, to have people to talk to about those things.
It is, and the Senior Community Center is a place to come and talk.
Yeah.
Like you said, there are meetings at night, veterans groups that get together that have programs there. In our community rooms, we have a platform with a projector and a screen, microphone systems, where people can come after the Council on Aging closes at 4 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
Other groups come in and use the building. I have a list here of 50 different programs that use the building at night.
No kidding.
And there's different foundations and boards and commissions that use it that are affiliated with the city, but there are other groups as well that come in and use this resource that we have to gather and talk about whatever the topic is that they want to discuss.
How does that work? Do you have to make a case to get the space? Do you have to prove it to you? Do you have to sit down and
no,
this is my audition?
I'm not the point person for nights and weekends. I was for the first year of the building, but then it became very apparent very quickly that it took a whole nother set of skills to do night and weekend scheduling. So Christina Manning is the woman who does night and weekend scheduling. C. Manning at cityofnewburyport.com is her email. She doesn't have office space here. She kind of works out of her home. But she meets with people at the Senior Community Center to give them a tour, to talk about whether or not that's the venue they want to rent for their birthday party or for their wedding. We have had weddings on Saturdays at the Senior Community Center. It's that nice a venue.
Unbelievable.
Bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs. We've had baby showers and bridal showers.
Really? Everything?
Yeah, a lot goes on. And if you've been around for the 4 years we've been open, you know the landscaping is fabulous.
Yep.
The place is beautiful, especially in the spring and summer and fall when our patio is in bloom.
It is a great space.
It is a great space, and people come and talk to Christina about the possibility of using it as a venue for their graduation party or their anniversary party.
Were you surprised when, like, the first, I don't know if you can remember the first wedding there, but were you surprised when the first couple approaches you and said, we would love to get married here. Can you make it work?
It was only about 4 years ago, so I can remember
it's a memorable
back
moment.
that far. And I was blown away. It was a high-end wedding.
Yeah.
They brought up their caterers and their florists from Boston.
Did you ever envision it being a spot where there might be a wedding?
I didn't. I've been thinking Council on Aging. Yes. I'm going to run senior citizen programs. But the building is here 24/7, and so it's available for other reasons, and the city has tried to be very creative as to how to make it work for the community.
Well, I would think, did any of these parties ever get out of hand?
Well, they do have to get a license, and they have to have the police be aware of it.
There are rules we must abide by.
There
right?
are, and we are in a neighborhood, and we have to be very conscious and considerate of the neighbors. So, and we are.
It does, again, Roesanne Robillard here from the Port Senior Community Center right next door. It seems like as much as you do have to be careful of the neighbors, it seems like a very welcoming spot, though. You get the school over there. I always like walking into work here, honestly, because it's especially on a nice day. It's kind of fairly nice out there today, but on a summer day, you get the kids playing basketball. You got people doing a million things walking into your building. I'm doing this little radio show over here. It's kind of like a nice little environment to be a part of.
Intergenerational programs are one of the great things that we've accomplished here because we do have the elementary school right next door.
Yeah.
And we've made available to them some of our raised planters that we have on the patio. So the second graders are learning how to plant seeds and how to water them and what radishes taste like that they've grown with their own two hands. We've had the kids come over and sing holiday songs with us.
Oh, that's cool.
Intergenerational music programs. It has been great. The location being next door to an elementary school is great, and we're trying to maximize the opportunities there.
Do you know, I just had a flashback to doing holiday caroling at I forget where it was when I was young, but it was at a senior center, and I remember being so nervous because everybody was it was like the biggest crowd we'd ever done that for. I think it was maybe my chorus in middle school or something. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I think this is the biggest crowd we've ever played for, we've ever sang for. And that's my caroling story, actually. Not that interesting, but that's it.
Well, we had a holiday party in December, and the music teacher over at the Bresnahan said that some kids would come over and they would sing some holiday songs.
Yeah.
And we have a group of senior citizens who have learned to play the ukulele at the Senior Community Center. So we were going to serenade the kids with our ukuleles. And so kids started coming over, and they kept coming, and they kept coming.
Oh, wow.
And the class of 20 that we were expected turned to 50, turned to 80. We had 80 children come into the Senior Community Center with their teachers. And we thought, okay, we're going to make this happen. And the ukulele group did a fabulous job. There were about 15 of them, and they were nervous Nellies. They had never performed before, so this was like kind of their
trial by fire,
big day.
Yeah.
And Battle of the Bands, the kids would sing, and the ukulele people would play, and then the kids would sing another one. It was a great time.
That is great. They combined forces at some point?
Oh, they did. They did. They did it. A fun story about the ukulele group. We tried to start it when we opened 4 years ago, and the teacher that we had didn't work out. And people were disappointed because they really wanted to learn to play the ukulele, but we couldn't find another ukulele teacher in the community.
Yeah.
So we kept looking. Well, one of the original people that came forward that wanted to learn to play went out and figured out how to do it. And he came back 4 years later, and he's teaching the class now.
What a cool story that is.
Yeah.
Who's that? Do you know that name?
Oh, man.
It's hard to quiz you.
I should, and I don't.
Yeah, that's okay.
But if I think of it, I'll let you know.
There you go. When it comes to you, let us know. That is a great story. Talk about sticking with it, huh?
Yep. Great guy.
So there's a lot of music over there too, isn't there? I hear like a lot of besides the ukuleles and the kids singing. Like there's always like some random thing that I always see, whether it's in the paper or whatever. Like there was some music over at the Senior Center.
Yeah, we have an old gent in a guitar who comes over on Fridays at noon, and he sings the oldies from the 50s and 60s, and they're the songs the senior citizens know. He's not a great musician.
Yeah.
He's not a wonderful guitar player. He doesn't have the best voice, but the people love him. Yeah. Because, he's just relaxed, and they know the songs, no pressure, just having a good time.
There's something about live music. I can play a poor man's guitar. There's something about getting up in front of people, no matter what the crowd is, that you have to respect. Like just that, whatever that is that gets you to go up there, I've always liked that.
Yeah, and some of the seniors will sit around the lunch table. We have lunch there every day at noontime, and they'll sit around after lunch talking, and chatter might talk into, move into talk about a song, a favorite show tune, or a holiday song, or.
Did you ever see that guy live? That sort of thing.
Yeah, remember that song? Yeah. Remember, and they'll start singing, and it's just kind of an impromptu thing. It's wonderful.
It is great. You don't know where these things are going. I'm reading in the front page here that we started the show off by saying you're on the front page of the paper. So this is meditation therapist over there. This is another I'm not even sure I know what a meditation therapist is. It sounds interesting.
The instructors of all of our programs are very well qualified, and they're insured. And we're not going to expose our VIPs, our senior citizens, our VIPs in this community, to anyone who doesn't know what they're doing. Yes. And so the therapist is certified, and she's legit. She knows what she's doing, and she has a group who are dedicated. As you'll see if you look at the front page, it doesn't look like a huge group of people, but they're giving her their attention and think very highly of her. And, I encourage people to come forward. I think it's a $5 donation to come to that hour.
Have you ever done it?
Personally, no, I'm not.
Me neither.
I work all day, so I can't do the fun things at the Senior Community Center. But we have a group called the Friends of the Newburyport Council on Aging. They're kind of a funding arm of the department, and they have scholarships available. If there's anyone in the community that wants to engage in one of the programs that we have, but they feel their pocketbook doesn't allow them to do that, just pop in my office and let me know. Okay. The Friends will provide scholarships for anyone who wants to do the fun things we have.
All right. Again, we're joined by Roesanne Robillard, Port Senior Community Center here, right next door. We're going through, we're kind of talking about the place. I've always felt, I guess I haven't always felt guilty, but I have these guests on, and I always think to myself, I'm about to walk in the door, but then my door's to the right. I always feel bad I never come in and say hello. So I have finally done it, and now we've had you on the show, so I'm happy about this.
I hope it's not the last time.
Oh, very nice. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'll take that as that's what that means. How about a little bit about yourself? You from here? Or?
I've lived in Newburyport about 40 years now.
40 years?
Yeah, wasn't born here, but from New Hampshire originally.
Okay.
Moved to Newburyport when my husband took a job at Boston University.
Oh, nice.
I did not want to move to Boston. I'm not a city girl.
Okay.
But we came to Newburyport because we spent some fun times here in Newburyport back in the day.
Yep.
And so we bought our first house here, and we've raised our 2 sons here.
Oh, nice.
And I am lucky enough to live here and work here.
Yeah.
So my husband is now retired from his job at Boston University, and someday I'll retire from my job with the city. But why would I retire now? I've just built this fabulous place to work in, and I want to continue to run the programs for a while.
There must be something incredibly rewarding about starting something and just watching it grow from the ground up. It just must feel like your baby in some way.
I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
Most directors don't have the opportunity that I've had.
Yeah.
It took patience and persistence and perseverance and prayer. As I said, I've been the director for 26 years, and we looked at a lot of different sites, and working out of the Salvation Army building was challenging.
Yeah.
They're a wonderful organization, but the senior citizens of Newburyport needed more space than the Salvation Army could offer us. So it took time, but we got it done.
It's also one of those jobs too, where, and I know it's a job and a career, but it's also one of those really rewarding ones. It's one of those jobs where you genuinely can see the impact that you're having on other people, which I always say those jobs are kind of, not everybody has those, and I'm pretty envious of those.
Being able to help others, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And my job is to match the needs of elders with the resources in the community. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there's some difficulties along the way.
Well, I never know when the phone rings what's going to be in the other end. I've had someone call me and ask me if I knew of a veterinarian who could clip her parakeet's toenails.
Well, that's an interesting question. Yeah.
I do. If you ever know of anyone who needs that
Did you
service,
get an answer?
I happen to know. I have quite a portfolio of resources available that I can pull from. We do transportation for seniors. You've probably seen the shuttle vans out here in our parking lot.
I have seen those, yes.
So we'll pick up any senior or disabled non-elder in the community and take them to any other Newburyport location. We go to all the doctor's offices, of course, and the pharmacies and the hairdressers and the grocery stores. We'll take people here to the Senior Community Center so they can have lunch. We'll take you to visit your grandmother in the nursing home. Any place you need to go, just call the Council on Aging and we'll come to your home, pick you up, and bring you home again.
That's great. Do you, with those things, I can imagine you get a van out there. Do you try to get like groups of people that maybe want to get one trip to the, let's do a day trip to the barbershop or something like that? Or
Well, that's a good question. We do focus on grocery shopping on Mondays.
Oh, geez, I can imagine, yeah.
Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Where we have senior housing, we have the Heritage House on Low Street, we have the James Steel Mill down on Water Street and Charles Street, and we have the Sullivan Building downtown.
Yep.
They each have 100 units in those buildings, so there's a lot of people who live there.
Gotcha.
So we go there, pick up all those people, take them to Shaw's or Market Basket. We have been taking them over to Seabrook to go to Walmart and all the stores that are over there near Walmart, kind of expand our horizon a little bit.
Gotcha. It's funny. I just had a flashback to my grandfather. He used to hate doing the grocery shopping because he didn't love the crowds and the exiting line. He would have hated it even more these days because I find those checkout lines are getting longer and longer, let me tell you. But I can imagine that would be a very helpful service for a senior in today's world. I could be honest, I hate grocery shopping. It's a hassle for me. It's a long checkout. It seems like there's not as many people working there anymore. I can imagine that would cause a lot of problems and frustration for people that want to get in and out of there. That must be a bit of a project.
Aging is not for sissies.
Yeah, well, I'm 33 and I hate the place too, so I find it to be a hassle. But yeah, sorry, continue on.
We do a lot of other things like help people with housing, basic needs. They need transportation, they need housing. Sometimes adult children come to visit their parents over the holidays and are alarmed at how mom and dad might have failed over the past year or
and
since
then you
they've
have
last
kids
seen
coming
them.
to you.
So I do. I've got the adult children coming and saying, geez, the house is really too big for mom and dad to take care of. What are their options for downsizing? So I've put together a handbook to help with that answer.
Because that's so common.
It is a common question. So housing options for Newburyport elders.
There's going to be a level of what's the word I'm looking for? Obviously you have it, but a level of compassion, because that's not a great moment for the son or the daughter too that comes to you too. That's been an alarming moment for them, is seeing mom or dad, and maybe they're not expecting it. And I did not expect that kind of regression. This is a tough day for me, and looking for help.
One of the most important parts of my job is that of a listener.
Yeah.
People need someone to talk to because they have just experienced something, as you said, that they weren't expecting, and they need to process that.
Yeah.
And so I listen to them and try to show them some compassion, because no, it's not easy. The whole aging process is not easy for the one going through it and the one watching me go through it.
And you've probably seen some people that have come in and maybe spent time there, maybe been revitalized a little bit. Have you seen that, where people come in and they say, maybe I wasn't really doing too much, and now there's this ping pong table and pool table and a couple of friends that I hadn't seen in a while, and maybe there's a level of that's uplifting.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about having a senior community center. It does keep people active longer. It keeps people healthier.
Yeah.
It gives people a reason to get up in the morning and go out and socialize.
I can see that brought a natural smile to your face. So I always love those genuine reactions to those things. Again, Roesanne Robillard joining us from the Port Senior Community Center, right next door to our studios here. Do I have the title right too? I always call it the Newburyport Senior Center, but Newburyport Community Senior Center, is that the official title?
Officially, Newburyport Senior Community Center.
Newburyport Senior Community Center. All right, good. Got it. All right. But
it's not just for the senior community. It's for older residents and for the whole community.
Understood, yes. When can you get married there?
Right.
What, did you say baptisms too? You had baptisms and showers and all that?
No, I don't know that there have been any baptisms or christenings yet.
Okay.
But
bar
baby
mitzvah,
showers.
Did you say bar mitzvah party?
Bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, yeah.
Wow.
Anniversary parties, bridal showers. I held a surprise party there for my brother's birthday.
Oh, nice.
The first summer we were open.
Did you get them?
I did get him, big time.
Good.
Big time. I'm one of 6 kids.
Okay.
And my oldest brother was turning a milestone age, shall we say. And so I got another brother here from Los Angeles. He doesn't get to the East Coast very often.
Okay.
But, and we got my older brother Ian here on the premise that, you got to see Roseanne's new senior community center. You haven't seen it yet. You got to stop by. Come by on Saturday afternoon. There won't be anyone there. And of course, we had the whole extended family there and all of his friends, and it was wonderful.
How many people did you pack in?
Probably 40. I mean, it wasn't huge, but
that's a good surprise party right there.
Yeah, it was.
If you get more than 40, you're talking about being in jeopardy of ruining the surprise. Somebody's bound to say something to somebody.
Spill the beans, right?
That's too funny. So, it's been obviously a great thing for you. Do you plan on? Is it something that you just want to keep doing kind of forever, or is it? Do you have a successor in mind, or is there a right-hand person that you rely on a lot, or you can name drop?
I have 2 right-hand people that I rely on a lot. Rosemary Coulombe is my office assistant. She's the business manager there at the Senior Community Center.
Okay.
She's been working there for a couple of years. She came to the Senior Community Center from City Hall, where she worked up in the finance department. And my other right-hand gal is Mary Kelly. She's the activities coordinator, and she's the one that puts together an incredible list of services and programs that she runs every day.
Look at this.
There's a lot going on, and she's juggling a lot of balls, and she does it fabulously.
Look at that. Painting, crafts, drawing, knitting. That's just the arts and crafts section. What else? Bird tours.
Yeah, February we're going to go see the Eagles.
Oh, okay. Interesting. You don't have to learn how to clip their nails, do you?
No.
Because you know how to do that, of course. Community lunch, Meals on Wheels, discussion group. Anything?
discussion group is great. It's a icebreaker for people who they've never been to the senior community center before. They're not really a joiner. I don't know if I'm going to like this. I don't know very many people.
There must be a lot of hesitation to take the first step. I mean, there is with anything.
Anything.
It's not like anything. I don't know why you would be embarrassed to ever go into a place, but I guess it's just a new group of people and.
Right. Well, back when my office was in the Salvation Army building, there wasn't very much space there for programs. And a little old lady who lived across the street would come over and she'd sit in my office and watch me type. And, how sad is that? Mary needed a place to go and someone to be with. Yeah. And so she walked across the street with her cane and she sat in my office and watched me work.
No kidding. Yeah.
So I shared that story at a board meeting. There's a team of board members who work with the Council on Aging. And I was telling the story about Mary at one of the board meetings. One of the board members said, well, I'm 80 and I'm all alone and I'm alone all day. I wouldn't mind coming to the Salvation Army to sit with Mary, say on Tuesday mornings, and have coffee with her and give her someone to talk to. Yeah. And I said, well, gee, Martha, that's very nice of you. Well, that was about 20 years ago, and it hasn't missed a week. Yeah. Martha, who is now in her mid-90s, still comes. Wow. She's about to leave our community and go to an assisted living in Haverhill. Okay. But she started this program and is there every Tuesday morning. That's the drop-in group. Now there's about 12 people who drop in. But it's the wonderful icebreaker that I can offer to people who want to know, well, gee, is there something I can do there? Yeah, come to our drop-in, have a cup of coffee, listen to others talk, or join in the conversation if the topic is something you have interest in.
Wow, mid-90s too. Good for you. Martha, you said?
Her name is Martha. Now her granddaughter brings her here. Martha doesn't drive anymore, but her granddaughter is very supportive and helpful and brings Martha every Tuesday. So she can.
Place kept her young?
She has aged gracefully.
Excellent. Well, that's a great story, and then I go down your list here. You got the ukulele we talked about, stamp club. Is that actual stamps?
Yes.
Okay. People are really into that.
Stamp collecting.
I never realized that was such a big collection.
It is a very popular group.
Very serious too. Don't mess with people in their stamps.
You've got that right.
We'll leave it at that. And then you got your fitness classes, ballet, tap dancing.
Tap and ballet, yeah.
Exercise to music. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, that program was going when I started as the director 26 years ago. Yeah. And it's still going strong. It was at the Salvation Army building. They moved from there to the Elks Hall on Low Street because there was more parking available at the Elks Hall. Okay. But now that we've built the Senior Community Center, the group has come back there and meets at 9 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Nice. And then you got meditation for stress reduction. Who doesn't need a little bit of that in their life, huh?
Exactly. Look at today's Daily News for more information on that.
Absolutely. From above the fold, as you said.
And in color.
We were talking, I had a newspaper writer from the Eagle Tribune on Tuesday, Bill Burt, sports writer. I don't know if you've seen his name around, but we were talking about, I used the term above the fold. We were talking about how pretty much, I'm young 30s, pretty much everybody below me might not even know what that term means, above the fold, with the newspapers. It's a crazy thing. Everything's digital now, Right. Of course, you can find this there too, but I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Above the fold. Lily, above the fold. Remember that. Carry it around to the next generation. Yoga too. My wife does yoga.
Yep, very popular. Yoga's going on over there right now.
There's all different kinds of yoga too. Have you seen this in the outside world? I'm not into these circles, but there's like goat yoga, which I don't even really know. I guess it's yoga with goats and peaceful, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Again, the programs that we offer at the Senior Community Center are intended for the older adult.
Right. You're not bringing any goats in.
No goats. Ixnay on the goat nay.
I just wanted to mention that. It seems kind of, I haven't checked it out myself, so I won't say anything about it. Cornhole. I know cornhole.
Yep, absolutely. During the summer, we play bocce outside. Yep. And
another great game.
Yep. The guys who play bocce and the women have started to play cornhole now during the cold weather.
Yeah, indoors. So it's indoors play. Yeah, you can do that anywhere. Well, that is very cool. And let's see and then you have a bunch of wellness things too. That's the stuff you were talking about before. Hearing checks and doctor runs and all that. So this is very cool. You must be very busy.
Well, I am, as is Mary Kelly. She's the activities person who puts all that together. She goes out to the community to find the presenters and the instructors for these programs. She keeps her ears open to see what people want to do. Yeah. This senior community center belongs to us all.
Yeah.
How do you want to use it?
Right.
If there's something on that list that doesn't interest you, that's a surprise because there's something for everyone. But
Yeah.
if you do have an idea that we haven't thought of yet, bring it forward and we'll work with you to figure out if we can run a program on it.
Let me ask you, I was thinking about it when you said all these kids come over from the school and sing, which I thought was a great story. It strikes me in 2020 that with so much, I mean, every kid has a phone and is playing games, and there's that attention thing. It's it would strike me, it wouldn't surprise me, let's put it that way, that maybe people are forgetting about their elders a little bit. I always think about my grandfather in these situations, and I always love spending time with him towards the end. But I think about all his friends that I used to see when he would have them over, and ever since he passed away, I never see them. I wonder what happened to a lot of those people. I wonder how do you view the kids in dealing with the elders, because it's so important to really relate to seniors, and sometimes they just want somebody to talk to or have a cup of coffee with,
Right, yeah. We need to be in their lives, and they need to be in the elders' lives as well. So we really want to take advantage of every opportunity to bring those two generations together. One thing we're doing this year is the Snow Angels program. I don't know if you spoke with Youth Services about that.
No.
It's kind of a collaboration of Newburyport Youth Services and the Newburyport Council on Aging. It is Snow Angel program brings together the school kids in Newburyport and their parents who shovel snow for the senior citizens.
Oh, yes, the mayor talked about this. That's right. Okay, yeah.
And today I met with a woman who's a recipient of that service, and she wanted to let me know how much she loves her snow angel. She said, "My snow angel is 5 years old." I said, "Oh my, you're kidding me." No, his mother wants him to learn how to help his neighbors, how to be a good neighbor, and so he comes to my house and he uses his little mittens to clear off the lights on my car and to clean the snow off the handle of my car as Mom and Dad are shoveling me out. But they extended their home to this elder at Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Because she was going to be alone, and so they opened the doors of their home so she could be with them.
What a great story.
And they had just met her a month before. Isn't that wonderful?
That is great. Come in for the holidays.
Right.
That's so cool. I mean, that doesn't get any better than that.
I know. That's what it's all about.
Again, Roesanne Robillard, nice enough to join us here for, I told you I was going to keep you for a few minutes. I'm sorry. I was interested. So I tend to do this. I go longer with people that I'm interested by. I just can't stop. So thank you for all the good work you do. What's the one thing people don't know about the Senior Center? Two quick questions to end. The one thing people don't know that they should know.
Wow. Every Wednesday at 1 o'clock is Community Day. So come in. It's always free. We have a speaker every Wednesday at 1 o'clock who's going to talk about some topic that you might be fascinated with, you might know nothing about when you come in the building, or it might be your favorite subject and you're thrilled to have an opportunity to learn a little more about it. Okay. So every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, pick up a copy of our monthly newsletter, and we have all of the topics for the month right there on the front page.
I'll put that up for you there. There's the monthly newsletter. That's what you're looking for. February 2020 right there. And my last question, Roseanne, what is the biggest thing you think you've learned over the last 4 or 5 years of running this place and putting together this show and all that stuff? What's the biggest lesson you've taken away?
It's just what a wonderful community we have.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by wonderful people, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to live here and work here and do the job that I do. I love it.
Well, it was great having you on. I'll make sure to come in and say hello a little bit more than I have. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed.
Thanks for the interview. I enjoyed my time.
All right, Roesanne Robillard from the Port Senior Community Center, right next door to our studios. So our neighbor, and what a job they do over there. My name's Drew Moholland. Keep it here. We'll finish strong for the last couple of minutes. It's Afternoon Drive on Chopper Radio.